an amazing member, a wonderful woman, someone that taught one of our recent breakout sessions here at the Confident Women Conference, the 5th anniversary special, and she received such stellar results, such amazing reports. I knew she had to be on a WOAMTEC Live. So please join me in welcoming DiAnne to the set today. Thank you, DiAnne, so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I had no choice, to be honest with you. No. Seriously. The evaluation results were so amazing and so incredible. You scored by far the highest in ranking with all of our teachers. So I'm so glad to have you here, and I know you're full of tremendous knowledge and talent. So we're going to start and try and convey as much as we can for those that are watching live or the archived versions. But start by let's telling them a little bit about who you are and what your company does first, and then we're going to talk about all the other fun, amazing things you do.
Sure. Well, of course, I'm DiAnne RiRe. I own a Media Resources Enterprise, and it's a PR, marketing, and video production. I do a lot of strategy now. I do marketing strategies for my clients, and I also do video production, different little things that I do in terms of promotional videos, and I do scripting and all that kind of good stuff, fun stuff that I like to do.
Well, let me ask you a real quick question about that,
yes.
Because the promotional videos that you do, I actually just spoke with another member that does something similar to that.
Right.
From a marketing and branding perspective, how important is it for companies to use videos, maybe not to do like a whole live broadcast like we're doing here today, but to even use videos in social media and Facebook, for their business? So for the average small business, mom and pop that's watching today, why would they need to contact you for video production work?
Well, nowadays a lot of people are visual. And if you have a video on your website, it gives them a little bit of who you are. And it's the best next thing to really personally say, hi, my name is DiAnne. Well, you say in a video, hi, thank you. Welcome to my website. I'm DiAnne RiRe, and I do PR marketing. And if you need my services, please give me a call. I would love to meet you. So it's really the next best thing other than meeting face to face.
Okay. What type of clients do you work with? Like, what do you have a tendency of? What's your niche? Who's your marketing demographic? What do you do, or who are you looking for, and what do you do for them?
Right. It's funny because you asked that. I really don't have a demographic per se. I've worked with chiropractors, like I've worked with lawyers, like I've worked right now, one of my recent clients is in the health profession, home care. So really, because what I concentrate on in my marketing is not only is marketing and PR, I concentrate on the brand and the whole picture. So when I meet a client, I actually go through their brand first. I want to make sure that they're marketable. Right. And a lot of people that are in marketing don't do that because I don't know why. Maybe because they feel that, they don't want to offend the client, or maybe they just feel like, if they're ready to market, let's go. But for me, it's so important to really have all those elements together in order to go and market.
Okay, well, I want to hear, absolutely, and I want to hear a lot about your marketing and branding tips and your communication tips as well. But before we do that, I think these women need to connect with you personally, because I know a lot of mothers that are on the set right now or that are watching live today. Your moms, you're working, multitasking moms, and this woman is not only an amazing businesswoman, a professional speaker, an author, a mother of four beautiful girls that look a lot like you. But she is also Miss Corporate America, so to Mrs. Corporate America.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about that journey. What led you down that path? What has that done for you?
It's very interesting. I never was really interested in pageants at all. I remember when I was like maybe 18 or 19 years old, somebody approached me and they said, do you want to do a pageant? And I'm like, I kind of considered it, but then because I was morally correct or whatever it was, they were telling me I could make the last 10. There was a lot of things going on that I really did not like. And I said, what? That's not for me.
What is your talent? Just curious.
I don't have one.
Okay. Yes, you have many.
Sing.
I actually disagree. Well, you have many.
Well, professionally, but if you're thinking of if you can sing, if you can I'm an average dancer, definitely cannot sing. I used to do a baton when I was a little girl, but, I don't do that now, so I have no idea how to do that. So really and truly, I would have really messed that up.
So now that you're Miss Corporate America, what does that mean for the world? Like, what are you doing with that? And what are some of the things that you have to carry on while you're holding this position?
Right. Well, my platform this year, still is actually inspiring women in leadership. And it's a wonderful platform for me because since I have 4 daughters, it really, really gives me a chance to speak to other women and really tell them that, you can do anything. If you want to be a professional, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to own your business, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you can do anything. You can do it. Just you have to set your mind to it and go for it. go ahead and write it down, follow those goals and reach them, and that's what's given me the opportunity to do, is really spread the word. I've been speaking a lot in different venues, a lot of radio interviews, TV interviews. It's been really fun.
That's awesome.
Actually.
Well, and that makes you a queen at knowing how to brand and market your business, which is really cool with what you do, but also what you're doing to help other people. And I know you're a role model for your daughters. I think that that's awesome, and they definitely look up to you. But you're also a role model for many women. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to take a moment and have you talk a little bit about when you speak, and your book. You've written a book. I don't want to hear more about that, but give me an idea as to what would you say are the major components of building your brand? Like, for all of the businesses that are watching, so many times we take on a position and we say, okay, I'm good at photography. I'm good at, whatever it may be, accounting. And you take on this role and you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But they forget that they're a salesperson too, and they're a marketing person too, even if they're in accounting, even if they repair computers or build websites. So what are the major components of building your brand?
Right. The major components of building a brand is definitely the first thing you need to take in consideration is look for a logo, or if you're going to build an individual brand, have a professional picture. That's one of the first things, other than the name, of course. You have to pick a name. The second thing would be a website, because we are in a digital world, and without a website, really and truly, we're not legitimate, really. And then the third, and people don't think about this too much, is a biography, because that will be on every single marketing material that you will have. Either a company biography or individual biography. Those three things are very important. Those are the three things actually you should do, the first thing you should do before you open a business or you start marketing.
Absolutely. I think that that's really important. And if you heard those major components, make sure you jot them down, because somebody will be winning something momentarily if you paid attention to that last segment. I think that that's really important, is knowing how you're representing yourself. I can tell you that just recently, as a matter of fact, you were one of the award nominees for the Leadership Award that we're giving away tomorrow night at our holiday cheer party. So congratulations for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you for whoever nominated me.
It was a stellar nomination, and we had hundreds of nominations submitted. Our team narrowed it down to the top 20 most qualified, and I can tell you one of the things that we looked for was, did they have a bio on their website to validate, or on LinkedIn, to validate what the nomination said. It was really important that we needed someone to submit a nomination saying, hey, this person is changing the community, making a difference, helping other people, and really being impactful, at least here in Central Florida. And then, does your website back it up? Does it communicate who you are? And congratulations. So you were narrowed down to one of the top 20. We will be giving away 3 awards tomorrow night at the holiday cheer party. The party's from 6 to 9, but I hired a sitter to stay till 11, so just come on out. If you haven't registered yet, make sure you do so right away, because it's going to be a great time, and who knows, you may be looking at one of our top 3 finalists, which is exciting.
Well, there's a lot of competition here.
There is.
There's a lot of wonderful professional women. I saw the list today, and I was very impressed. I was like, wow, this woman is great, and that woman is great. So
that's awesome.
Whoever wins it is going to be great.
And good
representation.
And you're right. It's healthy competition, and everybody that was nominated, had to do something to change someone else's life, and that's truly what it's about. I want to go back to tying in what you said with your role with Miss Corporate America, the public speaking you do, the marketing and branding, because I think a lot of what you're doing to promote your business is the same thing that everybody should be doing. So just because you're in that kind of career doesn't mean that people shouldn't watch you and kind of mimic what you're doing. The fact that you took an opportunity, like being Miss Corporate America, and you created radio interviews and television shows, that's all marketing your company.
Right.
Because the minute somebody Googles you, it's your company that's going to come up, which is brilliant.
Exactly.
So, thank goodness you didn't have to wear a bathing suit to do it. But that's brilliant. So talk to me about how you have used the media to communicate more effectively, and then if you have any social media tips that you'd like to share with us today. You're also really good at social media, so I'd like them to learn from you with that as well. Okay.
Well, with the first question, basically, yes, I thought about it before actually I even joined Mrs. Corporate America's pageant. I decided, I always think, is this going to be good for my brand, when I go out there? Always. Is this going to be, because I've been asked to do many things, but have I said yes to all of them? No. you really need to be picky about what you do and where you go, because everything that you do, from how you dress, the matter of speaking, how you communicate with people, what you're writing on your emails, represents you, it represents your company, and it certainly represents your brand. So, so when I was asked about Mrs. Corporate America, the first question that I had was, well, can I promote my business? Absolutely. I said, well, that's a plus. So that's why I ended up competing also. And yes, I have had plenty of opportunities. I'm so grateful because I am allowed to market myself, market my business, market my book in every single interview I go into.
That's awesome.
It's wonderful. I really enjoy it, and I've been asked back a couple of times, and in a lot of speaking engagements I've been asked back, but not because I'm Mrs. Corporate America. A lot of times it's because they want DiAnne DiRe, and it's because of the way that I think I set it up. I'm DiAnne DiRe first, and Media Resources second, and then I'm Mrs. Corporate America, and that's in addition to my brand.
Mm-hmm. I think
that's the reason why a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people in pageantry, they join a pageant, and they want that title. They acquire that title, but then they don't market themselves. They don't market their business. So you know what? When that title is over, that year is over, you already reigned for a year, then who are you?
That makes complete sense, and that's so important. And you know what? I bet you probably touched base on that a little bit in the book that you've referenced more than once. So
in terms of branding, yes.
Yeah, tell us about this book.
Yes. Well, this book, it took me about 1.5 years to 2 years to really write and research and really write an outline and see what I was going to communicate, because I really my goal for this book was really to help businesses really promote themselves, market themselves, make sure that everything that they do surrounds around their business and around themselves, if they're doing individual branding, so they can be successful. And I really love, I enjoy doing it, and that's what I speak about plenty of times. I speak about branding, and I speak about marketing, and I speak about social media, because you know what, that's what's selling right now. I also speak about video marketing in this book, and I love it. I think that, a lot of people that have bought it have actually wrote to me on Facebook, or, thank you so much. I didn't think of it. And it's simple. It's a simple book. It's not complicated. It has worksheets in them. So, you just have to go through them, and you'll be there. And some of the things you'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. I should have thought of that. That's simple enough, but because you're not in that, marketing state of mind or in that branding state of mind, you don't think about a lot of things. It's not hard. It's just a matter of putting your head together and putting it all together from A to Z.
Absolutely. It's the little things that do make the big difference in a bigger picture and in business. So I think that's important. Now, let's talk just briefly, because we've got to start to wrap it up, but I'm going to kind of put you on the spot. I didn't warn you that I was going to do this, but sometimes the best things are left, not said beforehand. Okay, I want to know the biggest branding faux pas that you see people consistently making. What does it relate to?
Well, yeah, you did put me on the spot. Thank you.
How you get the best answers.
A lot of people, in terms of branding are not thinking about the bigger picture, I think, and that's a mistake. They just think in pieces, and when you think about it, now everybody looks at you everywhere. Let's say somebody's researching you on Google. They're not only going to go to your Facebook, they're not only going to your website, they're going to go through every single social media outlet there is to go ahead and see who you are. Right. And a lot of times people commit the mistake of writing something different in every single piece of social media outlet. They'll have one buy on one, they'll have something else on the other. It's not consistent. So I really feel that people should be consistent throughout. So when they research you, they know who you are and they're not confused.
I think that's really important. And I can tell you, after being married to a photographer for years and working with doing marketing for Jeff's business, often he would do that like with marketing pieces. So it's not just in how you're communicating, but it's the pieces that you're building. If you're planning a flyer that's geared towards the holidays, and you start just using holiday pictures because you're excited about a holiday party, that may not match your brand. And so it's got to be, how do you keep your brand and get excited about the holiday and incorporate the two together, which is really important.
And Jeff does a great job, as a matter of fact. He actually did the photo on the cover of my book, and which is wonderful. And I'm really excited. I thank him so much. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have a photo for the cover. So Yeah, I really liked it. So yeah, he does a very great job in terms of the marketing pieces for WOAMTEC. I've seen them, and definitely it's always consistent with the brand. So
well, that's awesome.
Yes, you guys
well,
are
thank
doing
you,
a
honey.
good
You do a great job. Shout out to Jeff. Woohoo! I do want to mention that she is giving away a copy of her book to someone that listened to the components. So someone that posts on the WOAMTEC group Facebook page or posts now on the live chat, the first person to do either or, that will tell us naming one of the components of branding that DiAnne mentioned already. So if you go ahead and post that, then you could too be the winner of this fabulous book. DiAnne, tell us though, if they don't win this book, how can they order this book?
Yes, actually they can go on my website, DiAnnes.com, DIANNE, DIRE.com, or they can go on my Media Resources website, MediaResourcesEnterprise.com, and they can order it there. Online.
Okay, and you can also go to WOAMTEC.com, go to the WOAMTEC directory,
Yes.
type in DiAnne, type in D and I, and hit enter in the keywords, and it will come up to make it easier for you if you want, and link directly to her website, which is really cool. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Before we break out, one final question.
Okay.
If you had any advice, I want you to look down this camera, and if you had any specific advice that you would want to leave a member with today, and any call to action that you would like for them to implement, what would it be?
Yes, definitely. Well, we're coming up to a new year, 2013, as we know, and I really urge everybody to look at their brand. If they have to rebrand, this is the time, November, start looking at that. Or actually, we're in December now. So start looking at that right at this moment. Do not change your brand too much if you're really well-known, a well-known company, or a lot of people know you. But, there's nothing wrong with renewing, rebranding, and making it fresh. Make sure that your website is intact. Make sure that your biography is in all consistency levels in every single social media outlet. And also, be sure that you know who you are and what you do when you go out there.
So that is awesome. Well, thank you again for
Thank
sharing.
you.
And
Thank you so much, Kathleen.
It's
Thank
my
you.
pleasure. We're going to see lots more
Yes.
of you to come, I believe. So.